Good morning, welcome to Frugal Full, and if it's your first time here, my name's Lara and it's great to meet you. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that everyone has had a good week so far and also a great minimal spend March so far. So I'm still in sleepy mode here, so forgive the coffee slurping. Can you believe we're halfway through March already? It's quite scary actually. I cannot believe that. So thank you very much for joining me today for a mid-March wee chat and review of how the Minimal Spend March has been going. In case you don't know, I'm on a low and no spend year this year. So yeah, hard to believe I'll be nearly a quarter of the way through that already soon. It's unbelievable. It's been a strange sort of year, not a kind of norm for me because I'm still in recovery from breaking my arm at the very end of last year, which was obviously a complete bummer and it's had a massive impact on my life right now. But you know, I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. So yeah, 2024 has not been typical for me, but it's been a good opportunity to embrace this no and low spend kind of ethos and strategy for budgeting and trying to save on expenses. I've got a Bella. She wants to play and she's getting a bit vocal about it, as you can hear. You want to play, Bella? She's so funny. So I wouldn't be surprised if she pops up to see you on the worktop shortly. So hang on a wee second. Bella, what is it? What is it? I'm getting the slow blink now. So yeah. Anyway, where was I? So hold on a second. More coffee always helps. So okay, so if you would like to know details about how I'm doing this no and low spend year, I've done some videos in the past. If you look in the playlists about No Spend 2024 especially, there'll be much more detail in those videos about it. So, but just like a really brief way to summarize is that I have certain sinking funds for certain categories where I'm allowed to spend. And I've just this month introduced fun money as well, so I'll tell you how that's been going. And then I have a strict, I say strict, but I want, like within the 4 weeks or 5 weeks, month, I have a strict budget I want to stick to. But if I go over or I'm under on 1 month or on 1 week or another rather, it's okay. I just keep track of that so that I can try and stay within my overall monthly target. But it's a good thing for me to aim for the weekly food budget of $27.50 a week. That also includes other essentials like cleaning, toiletries, kind of household supplies like maybe bin bags, that kind of thing. Bella's food and litters in a separate fund. No, not a separate fund. I just have a set amount each month because I know what her litter costs and I know what her food's going to cost. And she's actually got lots of treats from Christmas. Haven't you? You've got all your cat mouse treats to use up. So she doesn't need any treats at the moment. Otherwise she's going to turn into a big ball. She's just so adorable. I'm going to bring her over to meet you. Hang on. Here she is. She's like, oh, I want to play. Put me down. I want to play. Right, we'll play soon, okay? Just be patient. Good girl. She's just going to sit on this other bar stool next to me now. That's good. Hopefully she'll give me peace. She's definitely got an agenda. She wants to do things in her order this morning. So anyway, back to our chat. So let's see, where was I? So sinking funds, weekly allowance. So right, let's get into how March has been going. So in case you haven't seen the videos before, what I did is in week 1, I had a big online shop delivered. So that put me over budget that week, but it meant I have everything I need for the month. And I'm just trying to ignore the yowling in the background here. Sorry about these distractions from Miss Kitty Cat. Anyway, so I was over budget because I got most of the month's shopping in that big online shop, which was really helpful for reasons I'll explain. And so in the first 2 weeks of March, I've spent £63.74 on food, which is more than £27.50 times 2 weeks. I'll bring that over in a minute. I've spent £5.98 for the food bank. In case you don't know, what I do is for each week of the year, I'm buying an item for the local food banks. So it'll be 52 items by the end of the year. Plus I'll put other donations in as I go along. I might not deliver the food bank stuff all at the end of the year because it'd be awful heavy. So I might do it in 4 monthly trips or something. But I just feel I want to give something to the community because we're going through such a horrible time right now with the cost of living crisis, and some people it's hard for many people, which is why we're doing frugality, one of the reasons why that helps anyway. But for some people, I mean, it's just dire, and it's just shocking that people are being put in that situation. It's terrible. So I want to be able to give to others and do something to try and help other people. Even in a small way like that, I just feel it's better than nothing. So that's my wee contribution I like to make each week. So I bought my food bank items for the month. So that cost £5.98 this month. And then I've bought some household items, which came to £4.55. I think it was toilet rolls and toilet gel. And vinegar spray. I can't remember if there was anything else. So anyway, long story short, going into weeks 3 and 4, the time's running on that. That's good. Going into weeks 3 and 4, I am £19.27 over budget, which means instead of the £27.50 for the 2 weeks, so £55, I guess, is that? Yeah, I think so. Instead of that, I have £35.73 left. But I also have a £5 Asda Rewards voucher. And I've talked about when I was doing my meal planning video that actually my shopping list for this month now, because of the online shop, the shopping list is tiny. So there's actually hardly anything that I need. There's the stuff that's highlighted are needs, and the things that aren't highlighted are wants. So actually, I bought shower gel this week, so I can score that off. And the oat and soya milks are ongoing. So actually for the rest of March, for the rest of March, all I actually need to buy are more oat and soya milks. Also for a couple of dishes that I'll be making, I'll buy tortilla chips and wholemeal pita breads. But I can get all of that hopefully in my £5 Asda Rewards voucher. That's going to be my aim, to get as many of those ingredients as I can in the £5, and maybe 1 or 2 of these once. And then hopefully that'll happen. And if that happens, then that'll mean that I'm actually £35.73 within budget for the food items for the month, which would be awesome. So we'll see. I want to try and stick to that if I can. I don't need to buy any of those once. Whoa, it went all slow there. That was weird. Yeah, I don't need to buy those other ones yet. But if I did buy some of them, then obviously I won't have to spend as much in April on those things. But it was very interesting because, so at the beginning of the week, I did a little shop. And the goal of the little shop was just to stock up on the soya milks, and also to buy the tortillas and the wholemeal pitas so that I had them for when I was making those dishes. But I learned a couple of valuable lessons from going to the store this week. One was that bread, I know about bread products already, and you'll have seen maybe in a different video us talking about that, how carby things like crisps and bread are my downfall, and I don't really have much willpower. So lesson learned, because I've eaten those, so I still need them. But what I'm going to do now is not buy them until actually on the day that I plan to use them as parts of meals, because otherwise I'm just going to end up eating them again, and it's a false economy to buy them in advance. Confession is that I don't know if I bought any pita breads with the online shop. I might have done, but I bought the tortillas. They got eaten. So, you know, this is my weak spot of wanting to eat carbs. So I know I'm better to just not buy them until I actually need them when it comes to those. So lesson learned. I did buy a couple of lagers. They were my treat of the week, so that's fair enough. I bought some reduced price bread, but guess what? I ate it already. Oh yeah, I didn't get pita, I got that instead because it was like a sourdough loaf. It was lovely, but it should have lasted longer than that. This is my, as I say, this is my thing that I'm a bit naughty about, so I know this now for future reference. It's better to just not get these things. I got some yeast extract, which is like Marmite, but it was Lidl's own version, and I got some spread, vegetarian, like a veggie or vegan spread, like a kind of olive spread. So those were things that are useful to have in the fridge, but as long as it doesn't mean I eat more bread, when it's better to have that in moderation. And then I got some cheese, which I was going to portion out and freeze, but I didn't because I ate it. So again, certain kinds of cheese, if I stick them in the freezer and portion them out, I've got more willpower than others. So note to self, probably better not to get the ones that I like the best, unless I've got a really solid plan for how I'm going to use them, or they'll just get eaten. Oh yeah, the shower gel was a want. So, and then I got the soya milk. So the milk, the bread and the tortillas should have been the only things. They were the 3 needs, but 2 of the 3 needs are now gone. And then the shower gel was a want, and all the other things were actually things that weren't even on that list. I just thought while I was there, oh, it would be useful to get that. So it was very interesting experience. I mean, it's fine. I'm still going to be in my budget for the month. It's no problem. But that was a really handy thing to learn from, because what I've realised this month is the best strategy, and I kind of knew anyway, but it's really reinforced it. Go in, like obviously go in with a list, stick to the list. Don't go when you're hungry. These are all kind of things that did feel obvious to me, but this has really hit it home. And also, yeah, going in, having a game plan for the menu for the month and sticking with it, and being really, you know, maybe allowing my one treat of the week, so that was the beers. But other than that, you know, having, or maybe a set budget that's food treat money or something. But out with that, really just sticking to the plan, because it's amazing how even just straying from the plan, as little as that, that could put a spanner in the works for the budget, because that all came to £10.94, £11, and the needed items should have only cost £57.39. Yeah, it would have been about between £2.50 and £3, I think, roughly, for the neededs. So, you know, that's almost £7 more that I've spent just on what? And this is how it can easily get to the point, being at the checkout, buying the stuff, and then suddenly thinking, what? How can it come to that much? There's not even anything in there really to make a meal, you know? Like, I've just picked up wee bits here and there. It's scary how quickly it can escalate to that. But definitely staying on top of things. See, this week I haven't stuck to my menu plan as much. I've been a little bit off, kind of, what's the word? Been a bit kind of off, I guess. So I haven't stuck to my menu 100%. It's not been a problem because the great thing is when I got my online shop, I stocked up on a few things. So I had the spare eggs and I had things like extra baked beans, spaghetti hoops and that kind of thing. And then of course there was that bread. So I've ended up being fine. It's not had any impact on my remaining menu to stray from it, because I did have a few kind of backups things in the cupboard and stuff, so it wasn't a problem. And it means I've now got 3 dinners on the back of here. I put on the back of the menu, I put my things that are carried forward as extra meals, so you know they'll just be able to get used another time and nothing's gone to waste, so it's no problem. But you know, but it's just as well I did have spare stuff at home, because if I hadn't, then yeah, the temptation would have been to go out to the shops and then end up spending on things I didn't need. So it's been an interesting learning experience. So the other thing was about the sinking funds. So introduced fund money this month, which has been really great. It's made a really big difference. As far as the sinking funds are concerned, I feel like this month is going really well so far. I really feel on track with things because, so I have a £15 a month fund money budget now, and I have stuck within that, and I really enjoyed my treats. They're in a previous video. It was some charity shop goodies. And it was so nice to be back in the charity shop again, because it had been a place that I wasn't allowing myself to set foot. But I think really the first 2 months, they didn't go, especially February, didn't go as well, in that I ended up feeling too restricted, and then I ended up blowing my budget a bit. And I can see why it happened, because it was too restrictive. There needs to be a little bit of breathing space, not even a huge, I mean, £15 isn't that big a budget. And I'm grateful that it's even possible to have that. But that's enough to not spoil my other goals, and it's enough to just take that edge off this low no spend year, to have that wee bit of wiggle room. It's made a big difference, so I'm really, really glad about that. It was a good move. And the desire to go on to Vinted and want to buy bargain things on there, or go into a charity shop, that temptation's gone away, which is excellent. So couldn't be more pleased about that. I have also used my research and studies sinking fund money, which is fine. And I've used my essentials and stock up fund. I've used that money because I'd stocked up on some food cupboard stuff, and I also stocked up on, oh no, sorry, I stocked up on the food things. Oh yeah, stocked up on some cleaning things with the vinegar as well. So the vinegar might have come out, I think the vinegar came out of the essentials and stock up fund rather than the cleaning. Yeah, that makes more sense, because the money for the cleaning was the toilet roll and the toilet gel. Yeah, I can see where those numbers came from now. That's good. So yeah, I stocked up on those, and I'd also spent a bit from the Christmas and birthdays stock up fund, but there's also some that's carried forward, so that's fine, it's all good. And they're things that I knew were coming up and I've planned for. But I haven't spent money in any of the other categories, which is great. So the kind of bigger sinking funds that I'll build up for an expense once this year, hopefully, are the Vets Fund for Miss Bella, the wee trip fund, the swimming pass fund. But the problem I've got the funds for my swimming pass, and then I'll build up for the next swimming pass next year. But actually at the moment the problem I've got is I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back to swimming again, which is really disappointing if I can. I know at this point, the physio and I have talked about it, and at this point I'm not able to move my arm properly in the way I would need to be able to safely swim, and it just puts me at too much risk. So I really hope one day I can get back in the pool, because I love swimming and I'd be really gutted if I couldn't swim in it ever again. So we'll see, one step at a time. But at least, you know, hopefully when that time comes, there's a sinking fund in place for that. So there's been no spending in that category. There's also, I've not used anything from the other three are monthly sinking funds. So I've not spent any of my allotment pocket money, day trips or social. Not spent any of those yet, because when I've seen friends, it's been things that haven't cost. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to, there is one social trip that I know is going to probably cost quite a lot of those budget. It'll probably use up most of that, which is that we're going to go, me and my friend at the end of the month are going to go and see Godzilla vs. Kong. Gojira is 70 this year, the big man. So it's going to be great to go and see that. The Japanese Godzilla film came out, and it was awesome to go and see that in January as well. Loved that, because it was all in Japanese with the English subtitles, so I was in my element. I loved it. So the Godzilla vs. Kong, I don't know, like when I finally watched the trailer for it, and I don't know how I feel about it. It's the old style Godzilla films that I love. The ones from back in the 60s and 70s where they're actually wearing like big monster suits and stuff. I love it so much. It just always brightens my day if I watch one of those. I just find them very endearing and entertaining. They're like bad in a really good way. So anyway, yeah, so the money's there for enjoying that outing at the end of the month, and then when I'm catching up with friends before then, it will be like popping round to visit them for a cuppa or going for a walk or something. So it's like frugal activities apart from that. Nothing else planned yet. So there we go. I think that's pretty much it. Sorry, I've been talking a long time today. But all in all, I would say I'm really happy with how March is going. I'm on track. I've stayed within my budgets. I know the food one's gone over a bit, but it's fine because I'm not going to blow the budget for food for weeks 3 and 4. I know I can safely stay within that. So this month has been the best so far for budgeting, definitely. I feel a bit more in my stride now, and definitely going back to the meal planning and the batch cooking is a big help. I think that really helps with staying on track. So I'm getting back into the habit of that this month as best I can, because the more automatic that becomes, the better. Because as life gets busier, it's harder to make the time for meal planning, batch cooking, but having that all set up and working efficiently, I feel like for me that is one of the key things for budgeting well, because I know I can see it working, I know it's working, it helps me eat well, it helps me feel more energized because I'm eating better. It's good for weight loss, it's good for the budget, and also it means that I can use my time more wisely, which is just a win-win. So yeah, so far so good. And thank you so much for watching today, and I really hope that your month is going well. If you're doing a low or no spend, I hope that it's all going to plan, and well done for giving it a go. It's really awesome that you're doing that, so good for you. And I'll see you next time. I'm going to be back in the kitchen shortly over the weekend making a slow cooker dish, so I hope you can join me for that, and sending you best wishes. Bye for now.